Hello, this is Mahmoud Yasser Al-Yazji, and this video is a presentation for Introduction to English Literature course with Mr. Ahmed Sheikh Khalil in the Islamic University of Gaza. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the transformation or change in the portrayal of female in literary works in different periods. Let's start with the Old English period. In this period, it was a time of heroism, where one man can sacrifice himself for the sake of the nation. This period has a male heroes. Unfortunately, because women can't be heroes, no women were mentioned in that time, and the only woman that was mentioned, it was the monster's mother in the famous story of Beowulf. In the Middle English, as the man of hero became a man of romance, and the love poetry flourished, the women started to appear more and more, but as an objects of desire and perfection. So even if they treated them as human beings, they would treat them as objects, as things they use. One thing I noticed about the Middle English that the caesura is gone. The caesura is the gap between the verses, and in my personal opinion, even if they were treating women back then as if they were objects, but the fact that women were existing with them on that time filled that gap. For example, Confessio Amantis by John Gower, a 33,000 lines with no caesuras. Let's move on to the Renaissance. The Renaissance period was ruled by a woman, a Queen Elizabeth. And this is itself a fact and a proof that a woman can rule and can make a change. And even the Prince of Poets, Edmund Spenser, praised her and resembled her as a heroine for the nation who brought wealth and peace. That time was the golden time of drama, and one of the most dramatists and writers, Shakespeare, was living on that time. Shakespeare, in his plays, at least the one we talk during the course, sometimes praised the woman, not praised, he gave her a worthy, important role, such as in The Merchant of Venice. He made a whole plot for just a woman to take a main role. And sometimes, or usually in that case, he gave them not worthy rule, or even if it is worthy, the good woman eventually dies or have a bad ending. For example, the only good daughter of King Lear's daughters, she died, while the other two daughters, the evils, had a happy ending. Same with Hamlet's lover. In Othello, the woman has no opinion. If Othello wanted to marry her, he asked her father, and the woman had no choice. If her father said no, she wouldn't marry him, even if she wanted to. Same in Christopher Marlowe, the passionate shepherd to his love. He's talking to himself. The woman is not even there to hear him. She has no opinion in the poem. The most memorable heroines on that time were in John Webster's plays, and they were both victims of male violence. As the metaphysical poetry showed up, a new themes, a new forms, and the new themes that empowers women showed up as well. And they resembled women as a smarter human beings, and they give them the right of a choice. For example, they say, gather while you may, gather while you have time if you want to gather. So this is a choice. This is a first action to deal with them as a human beings, as if they have rights. In the Commonwealth and Restoration era, we saw many examples of people or poets resembling women as a human beings, most importantly Paradise Lost by John Milton. In this poem, and for the first time, they equalize men and women. Adam and Eve are both equally blamed for the fall, and this is made a controversial situation in that time, and he was satirized. In the late 17th century and early 18th century, the most of the readership were women. So women in that time were more knowledgeable and more sophisticated than men. Many women started to appear as writers and poets. For example, Aphra and Manly, the mothers of the novel, they did an astonishing work. They showed the whole England that they could write as men do, and sometimes even better. Yet they were ignored by the anti-feminist critics who considered Manly scandalous she, because she spoke on such themes as rape, and they give the credit to a male writer as the father of the novel. So we were in a time where a woman can do an astonishing work and do something new, something better than before, and they ignore them simply because they are women. They were women. They are women, and as soon as a man imitate them and do as they did, they give him all the credit and they give him the prizes. The first who wrote the novel, Defoe, they considered him as the father of the novel, as I said. However, women continued to work harder and they made unprecedented, wonderful, unique works that astonished all England. They showed up in poetry, drama, books, novels, and they showed up everywhere. They became critics, judging men's works. The anti-feminist move were established and they supported women and gave them rights in addition to many other associations that supported women until women were treated as equally as men.